The first human ship to enter galactic space did not arrive with weapons or ambassadors, but with an overstuffed cargo bay filled with care packages. The vessel, the Daybreak Pioneer, had been an old humanitarian relief ship from a forgotten Earth coalition, fitted with outdated engines, mismatched plating, and a painted mural of children holding hands across continents. When it emerged from its improvised wormhole jump, unexpected, unregistered, and horrifically off course, it materialized in the middle of the Violian Assembly's monthly session. To the Violians, a species who regarded any unannounced arrival as an act of war, the sudden appearance of the Daybreak Pioneer looked like the prelude to an invasion. To the humans aboard, it was Tuesday and they were hopelessly lost. Captain Leora Hale, an optimistic woman with sunburned cheeks and a laugh that could rattle bulkheads, stepped onto the bridge window and waved wildly at the thousands of Violian ships now circling them in a combat formation. "Hello, new friends," she broadcast on all channels. "Do you need anything?" This statement alone nearly triggered a multi-system emergency protocol. The Violians communicated exclusively through emotion tones, and the translation AI misinterpreted her cheerful greeting as a threat implying resource superiority. As hundreds of warships armed their quantum lances, the humans opened their cargo bay in an attempt to appear welcoming. To the Violians, this looked like the charging of a superweapon. To the humans, it was standard procedure for distributing goods to people they assumed must be in need. The first crate drifted out, marked with a large smiling sunflower and the English words, "Free for anyone who needs it." The crate exploded, not violently but enthusiastically, releasing a cloud of synthetic seeds designed to grow food in nearly any soil across dozens of planets. The Violians panicked, assuming it was biological warfare, and prepared to annihilate the human ship from existence. Then something unexpected happened. A lone Violian diplomat, soft-voiced and curious, touched one of the drifting seeds. Its internal nanoprocessor registered a biosignature and generated a small, glowing fruit in his hand. It tasted like sunlight, spring water, and childhood memories he didn't know he still had. That single bite prevented the largest interstellar war in history, and it set the galaxy on a path it would never recover from. The humans did not understand the cultural implications of what they were doing. To them, generosity was instinctive, unconscious, a legacy from centuries of crises that had taught them cooperation was easier than conflict. To the Violians, and indeed most species in the galaxy, generosity was a strategic maneuver, a political gamble, or a family obligation, never something freely given. So when humans began handing out care packages, medical kits, educational tablets, portable shelters, and replicable food kits to anyone who approached, it triggered diplomatic chaos on a scale no historian had ever recorded. The Jaren enclaves protested first, arguing that receiving aid without negotiation violated ancient pride rights. The Lestari clans were offended because humans gave them food without accepting the ritual exchange of blade oaths. The Vro Dominion declared the humans dangerous because they destabilized economic warfare with excessive kindness. And yet, despite the uproar, no species refused the gifts. Not one. Because the gifts worked. Because the gifts made life easier. Because the humans asked for nothing in return. Within 3 standard months, human generosity had outcompeted centuries of interplanetary diplomacy. The humanitarian technology humans carried, born from a long, painful history of plague, famine, and environmental collapse, outperformed most galactic solutions in cost, efficiency, and sustainability. One human seed pack could revive an ecosystem. One human medical case could eliminate diseases some species considered lifelong curses. One human solar tent could shelter a family of 6 through storms that shattered cities. But the most dangerous invention humans ever shared wasn't a device. It was an idea. The idea that help did not need to be earned. The idea that survival could be shared freely. The idea that kindness required no permission. Galactic governments trembled because ideas were harder to regulate than weapons. 5 years after the arrival of the Daybreak Pioneer, the galaxy was drowning in prosperity and utterly unprepared to handle it. Human generosity had removed scarcity in dozens of sectors, but it did so faster than political or economic systems could adapt. Entire regions that once relied on trade or conquest lost purpose when hunger, disease, and infrastructure collapse were no longer threats. What was the point of raiding a world when its people were already well-fed and eager to share? What was the purpose of governments when their citizens no longer needed them for survival? Old power structures began to crumble. Some governments attempted to ban human aid, but their populations revolted, demanding access to the miraculous technologies. The galaxy entered the era scholars would later call the gentle collapse. It wasn't violent. It wasn't dramatic. It was simply the unraveling of an ancient system held together by fear and scarcity. Humans had unintentionally removed both. Meanwhile, humans continued their efforts, oblivious to the destruction they were causing. Human volunteers spread across star systems, offering tutoring services, repairing broken satellites, building community gardens, and hosting conflict resolution workshops. Interstellar piracy plummeted as pirate crews discovered humans would simply give them whatever supplies they were trying to steal. So much easier, the pirates admitted, confused and grateful. Crime rates dropped across multiple empires, not because of stronger enforcement, but because humans insisted on counseling criminals, offering them educational programs, and sending them home with mental health care kits. It was chaos, but a gentle chaos that made everything better while making everyone question everything. The galaxy had never experienced anything like humans, and many feared it never would again. Eventually, the most influential powers gathered to discuss the human problem. Not a single representative wanted to harm humans. After all, humans had improved life across thousands of worlds. But they also agreed the galaxy could not continue collapsing into dependency and political irrelevance. The Grand Council convened on a neutral moon, its atmosphere engineered to comfort every species present. The debate lasted for 3 weeks and nearly broke the moon's climate system. They destabilize our leadership, argued the Vro Dominion overlord. They embarrass us by solving problems we have not solved in generations, complained the Lestari matriarch. They give things away without waiting for permission, shrieked the Prime Minister of the Jairan enclaves, who found the concept horrifying. After endless debate, the Council agreed on one point. They must confront humanity, not with force, not with threats, but with diplomacy, demanding humans slow down their relentless generosity. However, when the human delegation arrived, they brought snacks, handwritten thank you cards, and a portable clinic, just in case anyone felt unwell. The Council's argument collapsed within minutes. The humans apologized cheerfully for any inconvenience they had caused, promising to be less overwhelming with kindness. Then they proceeded to offer emotional support bracelets to every representative, calibrated to reduce stress levels by 40%. The Council adjourned early because everyone felt too relaxed to continue arguing. It was the most unsuccessful political intervention in history. And yet it became the turning point for something extraordinary. In time, the galaxy adapted, not by resisting human generosity, but by embracing it. The Violians integrated human sharing principles into their diplomatic curriculum, creating the field of collaborative diplomacy. The Jairan redefined their pride rights to include accepting help as a show of interpersonal courage. The Vro Dominion restructured its economy to focus on innovation rather than exploitation. And the humans, they simply kept doing what they always did. Helping, teaching, giving, not out of strategy, but because they couldn't imagine life any other way. Eventually, the galaxy reached a new equilibrium. A strange, beautiful era where compassion spread not through conquest or treaties, but through example. Humanity never understood how profoundly they had changed the cosmos. They never realized they had dismantled empires, rewritten traditions, and transformed interstellar relations. They just knew the galaxy seemed like a place worth caring for. Historians would summarize it simply: the galaxy never recovered from human generosity, but most agreed that was the best possible outcome. And across thousands of worlds, as seeds blossomed, diseases vanished, and communities thrived, one universal truth echoed through every species, every culture, every star system. Sometimes the smallest kindness can reshape the universe.